The moment the words left the room, silence fell like a heavy shadow, because when the Chinese military delegation said Filipinos were too small to fight, they did not expect what would happen next. And this story begins inside a massive international joint training facility under the burning sun, where rows of soldiers from different nations stood at attention while observers watched from elevated platforms, cameras rolling, notebooks open, and flags moving slowly in the wind. The Filipino contingent stood quietly among taller and broader forces, their uniforms simple, their faces calm, their posture disciplined. And when a senior Chinese officer spoke during a closed-door briefing that later leaked, his words were blunt and dismissive, saying that physical size and build mattered in modern combat and that Filipinos lacked the frame to endure real battlefield pressure. Those words traveled fast, from military halls to international headlines, and within hours analysts debated them while social media exploded. But what the cameras did not show was what happened next on the ground, because the joint exercises continued as scheduled, and the first test was endurance. A brutal multi-hour drill under extreme heat, heavy packs strapped tight, boots sinking into rough terrain, sweat pouring, breathing heavy. One by one soldiers from different units slowed down. Some stopped, some signaled for assistance. But the Filipino soldiers kept moving, steady pace, controlled breathing, eyes forward, not racing, not struggling, just consistent. Instructors whispered among themselves as time passed, surprised that the smallest frames lasted the longest. Then came the obstacle course, towering walls, rope climbs, low crawls through mud and wire, timed sprints under pressure. And again, expectations clashed with reality. Because while larger soldiers relied on brute strength and tired quickly, the Filipino troops moved with efficiency, conserving energy, using technique, balance, and coordination, flowing through obstacles like water through cracks. Cameras zoomed in as one Filipino soldier leapt, rolled, climbed, and landed with precision, not flashy, just effective, and murmurs spread through the observation deck. Then came close-quarter simulations, urban combat drills inside mock villages, narrow hallways, sudden corners, unpredictable threats, where size mattered less than awareness and speed, and here the difference became impossible to ignore. Filipino units communicated with hand signals, moved as one, clearing rooms smoothly, covering angles instinctively, reacting fast, their training rooted in real-world conditions, tight spaces, jungles, coastlines, disaster zones, environments they knew by heart. While some larger units hesitated, adjusting to confined spaces that did not favor their size, evaluators took notes, their expressions changing. Then the final test arrived. A combined exercise involving rescue, defense, and survival under pressure. Helicopters roared overhead, smoke filled the air, alarms blared, and teams were given limited time to secure an objective while protecting civilians and responding to simulated threats. Stress levels rose, mistakes happened, but one unit stood out. The Filipino team adapted instantly when plans failed, splitting roles, improvising routes, carrying injured teammates with efficient load sharing, their smaller size allowing them to move faster through debris and tight exits. And when the exercise ended, silence returned. This time not from dismissal but from realization, because the results were clear on every chart, screen, and report: endurance scores, reaction times, coordination efficiency, adaptability ratings, all placed the Filipino unit at the top or near the top. And when senior officers gathered again, the tone had changed completely. The same officer who once dismissed them now sat quietly as analysts presented data, video replays, and expert breakdowns, showing that combat effectiveness was not defined by size alone, but by discipline, adaptability, teamwork, and mental toughness. And when asked to respond, the room watched closely because pride was on the line. And finally, the statement came careful and measured, acknowledging that the assessment had been wrong, that the Filipino soldiers demonstrated exceptional capability, resilience, and professionalism, and that underestimating them was a mistake. Those words echoed louder than the original insult.